Okay. So in the last lecture, we have seen what is the concept of many-to-many relationship. So that time we see that first of all, what is the requirement? Why should we go for this type of relationship when we already have lookup and the master detail and the external and the hierarchy? The first thing is, why should we go for this? What is the scenario? What is the requirement where we should implement the relationship with the help of many-to-many relationship? So the requirement was like this, if there are two objects, like we have taken this example, book object and the author object, but then these two are the object and we wanted to have a relationship between these two objects. But either if we try with the lookup or the master detail, the basic agenda, the basic requirement of having a relationship between the two objects is that, once you are creating a relationship, one of them should be the parent, the another one should be the child. This is the basic requirement. Now, this is same for lookup as well as for the master detail also. So either you form the lookup relationship, either you form your master detail relationship. One of them should be, one object. Out of the two objects, one should be the parent, the another one should be the child. Now here we have seen with a problem that if such kind of scenario comes to us where there are two objects, but none of them is actually, we cannot make any one of them as to be the child. We cannot make make book object as to be the child object either, nor we can author object to be the child object. If this is the possibility, if this is the scenario that comes in you in the real time also, whenever if you are mapping a relationship and if you see that these are the two objects that cannot be mapped at all. Why? The reason is that none of them is actually able to become the child object, because relationship field is always created at the child. But if you don't have a child, if both of them tends to be the parent and no one becoming the child, how could I create a relationship? This we know. So these kind of situations are actually tackled. These kinds of situations, these kinds of scenarios, these kinds of use cases, we actually solve it with the help of different kind of relationship called as many-to-many relationship. So I told every one of you to go and create this relationship, but unfortunately, no one of you has replied me on the WhatsApp that I have created this relationship. So I decided to take it by today itself. Otherwise, I was about to start a new topic. But because as you guys has not responded, I probably conclude this that no one of you was able to create this relationship. So let me create this kind of relationship for you. So we have a book and the author object. Let me just verify. Yes, we have a book object. And inside the book object, apart from the name, I want two more fields like price and the pages. Okay. So inside the book object, presently we have only one field, and that field is actually name field. And so relationship, let me first of all remove the relationship from here. So there's a relationship. First of all, let me delete this relationship. Now I have permanently deleted the relationship from this object. So refresh this. So we have only one field, like name field. Apart from the name, inside the book object, I wanted to have few more fields. One is price, and the next is pages. So let me create few more fields over here. Price is something, a currency field. So let me go with the currency. Select the next. Give the name as to be the price. Price of the book. Okay. Having the length of 4 digits is fine. It's not a required field. Just create a field. Get visible for every profile user. Click the next button. Click the save button. So I created one more field over here, and the field is price of the book. And the next is pages, number of the pages. So let me create one more field over here. Create one more field is number of the pages. Number of the pages is something. You could either I could give the text as well as your number also. Number data type I have selected. Number of pages. The length is, I think, this 5 is more than enough. Yeah. So next, I'm making it visible for the profile users of every kind. And then let me save this. So we have created one more field, that is number of the pages. Let me now go with the authors. So author is one of the object that have location and the book ID. Name and the location, book ID we were trying to start. Okay. So location is one of the fields. So let's create one more field over here. And it's a pick list menu. So pick list. Select this next button. Location on author. Here I wanted to enter the values manually. So we already have one document for this. Let me copy the locations from here. Paste it out over here. Display them alphabetically. Click the next button. Make it visible. The next. And then save it. So now inside the authors also, inside the author we have two fields. One is name of the author and then okay. I wanted these two objects to be get related to each other. So we have two objects. One of them is book and the second object is author. Like one of them is book, second object is author object. Now we wanted these two objects to be get related to each other, right? So let me create few entries over here inside the book and inside the book Java programming. Is a book called as Java programming. And then price of the book is around $700. Number of the pages is like 300. Let's save this. Okay. So let me get few more entries like there's a book called as Apex program. And it's around $500 and 800 pages. Save this. We have one more book sample and one testing concepts. It's around 1,000 and it's like 678 pages. Let me now save this. So inside the book object, I now have few records. Let me bring those columns over. Number of the pages and price of the book. Save it. So we have, these many records, these many sample records inside the book object. Let me now go with the author. So inside the author, I have like, Ram Kumar belongs from the Hyderabad. Save this. And then I have East Party who belongs to Mumbai. Let me now save this. I have, a few more records like I have Shweta Kumari. Save this record also. So now if I go to the author, I have few records. Let me bring few more columns onto this. Location of the authors. Yeah. Yeah, I have this author also. Let me edit and give it location also. So these are the few of the authors recordings. Now I wanted to have a relationship between these two. Okay. Between the book object and the author object, we wanted to create a relationship. The same is the problem what we are facing. Same is the problem. That these two objects, whenever I try to make book as to be the child, it's not possible. If I at all try to make this author to be the child, it's again not possible. So how I'm going to create a relationship between these two? Now, this is one of the biggest question. That is why I need to go with the concept called as many-to-many relationship. Now, inside many-to-many relationship, first of all, we require to create another object. If at all I wanted to create a many-to-many, this cannot be we cannot map this relationship directly between book and author. Book and author के बीच में आप direct relationship map नहीं कर सकते. You cannot create a direct relationship. So how to create that is through what is through like your junction object, that is a common child. So let's create another object whose name is book author object. Okay, book author object. So let me create one more object over here. Let's go to the custom object section, and then create a custom object. Name of the object is actually book author object. Book author object. Okay. The label for this will be book authors, and then I wanted to allow the repos, track, page histories, allows in the chatters also. Go with every default setting, allow search, and then launch a tab for this. Save this. Now select the tabs for this. Author objects के लिए you can go with the map. Next, save it. Okay. So now we have one more object called as book author object. We have one more object called as book author object. Okay. Now let's map the relationship between all these things. So I'll show you what exactly. See, we have these objects that we go with the schema builder, and let me bring those objects over here, custom objects. So I'll like to see book object, author object, and okay. So let me bring these two objects. So see, here we have these three objects. Book object, author object, and your book author object. Okay. The way I have created a diagram. In the same way I'm demonstrating book author and author. Now inside the book author, this object, book author object, must be related with book as well as with the author. It must have a relationship. It must have a relationship with the book. It must have a relationship with the book. It must have a relationship with the author. Like what kind of relationship? Master detail relationship. So let's go to this particular object. So we have book author object with us, and let's create a new relationship field over there. What kind of relationship? Master detail relationship. Click the next button. Related to what? That's related to book. सबसे पहले book से. And then click the next button. Go with the default selection and everything. Click the next. Okay, just a second. Let me rename the field. Let me just rename the field as to be guide. Here also. What was the name? Book ID was the name. Here also. Click the next, and just save it. Okay, so we created one of the field over here. Like if I go to the book author, see we have a book ID. In the same way, let's create one more field, author ID field. So let's go with this. The custom relationship section, go with the new button, then create a master detail relationship, one more field, click the next button, and this time make it relationship with the author object. It means select author and click the next button. Here I would like to give the name as to be the author ID. Go with the default selection, click the next button, click the next, and save it. So we created one more field over here. Let's see that. Okay. Now the time is to create the mapping. Now if I go over here and I see like this, if I refresh it, so now you could see that we have a relationship with this book and the book author. We have a relationship with the author and the book author. Like what kind of relationship? It's a master detail, right? It's a master detail. Let me demonstrate it. So we have these. The book author is your common child object. The book author is your common child object. And now you have a relationship between these two. You have a relationship. Now, this is one of the example of your many to many relationship. So this is the example of many to many relationship. Now let me demonstrate. How actually could create the record. Okay. So जो concept अभी हमने पढ़ा है ना implementation part. So let me the book author, let me give this entry number one. Entry number one. So your book was like Java programming. Book was Java programming. Now Java programming has been written by two authors, Shweta and Akash. अभी मैं उतने author तो create नहीं किया. Okay, I could create that also. What should I do? Authors में let me go and create one more entry. Akash, AKASH, Akash Singh. And probably this guy belongs to Delhi. Okay. So now this book, Java Programming, has written with the two authors. Okay, Java Programming has been written with the two authors. First is what? Shweta Kumari. So Java Programming has written with the Shweta Kumari. Let me now save this. Okay, let's once again go to the book author object. So we have one of the new entry, adding few columns over here, along with this. So the entry number one is like Java Programming book has been written with the Shweta Kumari. Let me make few customizations. Now, second is entry number two. Entry number two is once again the Java programming book. Java programming book has also been written with the Akash Singh. Let me now save this. See, Java programming book has been, there are two authors for the Java programming. Let me enter one. The next was like software testing. Software testing as written by Ravi Kumar and Anil Kumar. So let me have this Ravi Kumar and Anil. First of all, let me see whether we have this Ravi Kumar. No. So let me have this Mr. Ravi Kumar. Ravi Kumar belongs to Dubai. Save it. And I have one more, Anil Kumar. So Anil Kumar belongs to Kochi. So next is entry number three. The book called as, for the name, software testing. I have any book called as software testing, manual testing. Okay, manual testing concepts. Now this book has been written with the Anil Kumar. Now save it. Let's once again go to this. Let's have new entry number 4. Again, the book is manual testing concepts. The next was Ravi Kumar. Okay. So now see, if I go to book author object, you could see that probably we have all these records. Entry 1, 2, 3. This book has been written by this and that. Now, if you delete any one of them, for example, if I let's go to the book object. I have these many books. Let's go to the author object. I have these many authors. Okay, I have these many authors. I have these many books. Fine. Now the concept was like कि अगर मैं इसमें से कोई भी delete करता हूँ, in any of the parent book में अगर मैं कोई record delete करता हूँ या फिर author में कोई record delete करता हूँ, same will be get deleted from book author object. Let's verify that. So I go to this manual testing concept, books में जाता हूँ मैं, and let's me delete this record, manual testing concept. So I deleted this record, manual testing concept. Now here we have manual testing concept है ना, ये यहाँ पर था. अभी तो मैंने यहाँ से delete कर दिया. I don't have any manual testing. Let me now refresh this from. So all the entries related to manual testing has been gone. See, all the entries related to manual testing has been gone. Now let me go with the author. And let's open this Akash Singh record. So Akash Singh, with the name Akash Singh, we have one entry over inside the junction object. The book author is a junction object. Let me delete the Akash record over here. Let me delete this particular entry for Akash Singh. Let me now refresh and see what happens. Gone. Now, if I at all search with the Java programming, does Java programming है यहाँ पे? Yes, of course. If I search for the Shweta Kumari, the Shweta Kumari is over here? Yes, of course. So if there is a there is a supporting record inside any of the parent, then there will be a record inside the book author. Otherwise not. So this is the way you implement this. Many. I was expecting that you guys will probably solve this, so that I could take the next topic. So I was expecting कि आप लोग solve करेंगे इसको. One has actually replied me this WhatsApp. या तो आपने इंस्ट्रक्शन सुनी नहीं थी शायद किसी ने कि मैंने कहा था कि go with this and try to implement it. If you implement it, just ping me on the WhatsApp. No one has actually responded. तो फिर मुझे ये टॉपिक लेना पड़ा. तो ऐसा मैं छोड़ूंगा तो नहीं किसी चीज को, बट समटाइम्स आई एक्सपेक्टेड दैट फ्यू थिंग्स. इफ आपको मैंने रिलेशनशिप बनाना सिखा दिया, ओनली द थिंग वाज रिक्वायर्ड दैट यू वर हैविंग दिस डायग्राम विद यू. आपको जैसे मैंने आज बुक ऑब्जेक्ट पे देखा, नेम तो बाय डिफॉल्ट क्रिएट हो ही जाता है. व्हेनेवर यू क्रिएट एनी ऑब्जेक्ट, दिस पर्टिकुलर फील्ड नेम इज ऑलरेडी क्रिएटेड. अपार्ट फ्रॉम दिस यू नीड टू क्रिएट दीस टू फील्ड. प्राइस क्या होना चाहिए? जिसका डेटा टाइप करेंसी होना चाहिए. पेजेस डेटा टाइप नंबर होना चाहिए. लोकेशन के लिए आपको पता है कि पिकलिस्ट मेनू वी कुड क्रिएट, उसकी वैल्यूज भी आपके पास ऑलरेडी थी. One more thing was required to create this particular junction object and make it related with these two objects in the master data. So I was expecting कि तुम लोग कर लोगे. फिर अगर नहीं करोगे फिर मैं असाइनमेंट सारी सॉल्व करवाऊंगा तो फिर देखो फिर ट्रेनिंग बहुत लंबा जाएगा. लेट मी ट्राई टू टेल यू वेरी फ्रैंक. अगर असाइनमेंट्स में देने के बाद में आप लोग सॉल्व नहीं करोगे, so ultimately I need to take that problem because I cannot keep it. I cannot keep it skip. I cannot simply skip that. तो ट्रेनिंग बहुत लंबा जाएगा. लेट मी टेल यू दिस वेरी फ्रैंक. ये 2-3 महीने का जो ट्रेनिंग है ना, वो आप 5-6 महीने तक लेके जाओगे एंड यू गाइस विल बी रिस्पांसिबल. तो टेक दिस वेरी सीरियसली. होमवर्क ये कोई क्लास का असाइनमेंट नहीं है, आपके कॉलेज का असाइनमेंट नहीं है. दिस इज अ प्रोफेशनल ट्रेनिंग. और वैसे असाइनमेंट बहुत कम देता हूँ मैं. मोस्ट ऑफ द पोर्शन आई यूज्ड टू कवर इट इन द लाइव लेक्चर. बट देयर आर फ्यू थिंग्स दैट आई वांटेड एंड समटाइम्स आई एक्सपेक्ट यू टू गो विद दिस काइंड ऑफ थिंग्स. अगर आप ऐसे नहीं करोगे तो फिर आई विल टेक इट. नो प्रॉब्लम, आई विल टेक इट. पोर्शन तो मैं पूरा ही करके दूंगा, बट द थिंग इज दैट कि फिर आपका ट्रेनिंग लंबा जाएगा. और जो 3 महीने में 2.5 महीने में जो चीज होना था उसी के लिए 5 महीने लगे. मतलब जहाँ 4 महीने बाद आप रिज्यूमे आप करके कॉल्स ले सकते हो, वहीं आपको 6 महीने 7 महीने लगे. सीरियसली लो यार आप लोग इस चीज. ठीक है. एंड दैट इज व्हाई आई टोल्ड एवरीवन कि अगर किसी एक ने भी किया तो उसको ग्रुप में डालो. डोंट कीप इट विथ योरसेल्फ. ये सभी के लिए. कोई एक भी अगर आप में से करता है उस चीज को तो प्लीज पुट इट इन द ग्रुप सो दैट एवरीवन ईदर समवन कुड कॉल यू. अरे यार तूने कैसे किया, प्रज्वल तूने सॉल्व किया, कैसे किया बता जरा सा. ये हो सकता है. क्या प्रॉब्लम क्या है तुम लोग को? तुम सब एक ग्रुप के हो, तुम सब एक मेंबर हो, इस ग्रुप का हिस्सा हो, आपस में कॉल कर सकते हो एक दूसरे को. ताकि हेजिटेशन है तुमको. दिस इज अ प्रोफेशनल ट्रेनिंग, राइट? आप सभी लोगों को एक फैमिली की तरह आगे बढ़ना है. अगर कोई कुछ सॉल्व करता है तो आप लोग आपस में एक दूसरे से कॉल करके बात करो ना. क्या प्रॉब्लम है इसमें? किस चीज का हेजिटेशन है? आप कोई प्रॉब्लम नहीं आपस में एक दूसरे से डिस्कस करना. करो. ठीक है. डेवलप करो थोड़ा सा कल्चर आईटी का अपने अंदर. ओके, सो लेट्स स्टार्ट विद द नेक्स्ट टॉपिक. देखो इतना समय जो खराब हुआ ना सिर्फ इसलिए हुआ. चलिए द नेक्स्ट इज व्हाट देयर आर फ्यू अब ये तो हो गया. देखो मेनी टू मेनी को प्रोबेबली अब आप बहुत अच्छे से एक्सप्लेन कर दोगे बिकॉज नाउ अभी लाइव भी दिखा दिया मैंने कि हाउ टू क्रिएट अ मेनी टू मेनी एंड एवरीथिंग. और ये सब हमने देख लिया है ना कि व्हाइल डिलीटिंग द पेरेंट एसोसिएटेड चाइल्ड रिकॉर्ड्स फ्रॉम द जंक्शन ऑब्जेक्ट, है ना. एसोसिएटेड चाइल्ड रिकॉर्ड फ्रॉम द जंक्शन ऑब्जेक्ट will also be deleted. जब भी आप पेरेंट रिकॉर्ड डिलीट करते हो तो जंक्शन ऑब्जेक्ट से जो भी रिकॉर्ड है वो भी डिलीट हो जाएगा. नाउ अब ये तो हो गया आपके कस्टम ऑब्जेक्ट्स के बारे में. बिकॉज यू विल प्रोबेबली से अबाउट अ बुक ऑब्जेक्ट, ऑथर ऑब्जेक्ट एंड देन वी क्रिएटेड अ बुक ऑथर ऑब्जेक्ट दैट वाज द जंक्शन ऑब्जेक्ट. वो कस्टम ऑब्जेक्ट था. बट दे कुड आस्क यू ना, अब एक क्वेश्चन और बनता है इसके ऊपर. एंड वंस अगेन लेट मी टेल यू कि इतना डीप से कोई नहीं पढ़ाता. ठीक है. तो आपके पास ये जो नोट्स है ना, दिस नोट्स दीज आर मोर देन इनफ. These are more than enough to to carry on in the interview and to carry on in the real time examples also. This is more than enough. Still I will share a few more things. बहुत सारी चीजें मैं शेयर करूंगा अगर आपके पास समय है पढ़ने का तो, otherwise these are more than enough. हाँ, many to many relationship there are few standard objects. There are few standard relationships. There are few many to many standard relationships. मतलब Salesforce ने कुछ ऑब्जेक्ट्स को जो कि स्टैंडर्ड ऑब्जेक्ट है उनको मेनी टू मेनी से पहले ही रिलेट करके रखा हुआ है. आपको जानना है कि वो कौन कौन से रिलेशनशिप्स है और वो कौन कौन से ऑब्जेक्ट्स हैं. तो ऐसा नहीं है कि मेनी टू मेनी एक ऐसा कंसेप्ट है जो सिर्फ आप इंप्लीमेंट करोगे, नहीं, Salesforce also have implemented this concept. There are few of the standard objects, those who are into the many to many relationship. हमको वो भी जानना है, हमको वो भी पता रहना चाहिए. ठीक है, as a part of your Salesforce journey, as an administrator, Salesforce administrator, you should know that there are few standard objects, those who are into the many to many relationship. तो वो कौन से objects हैं? Now see, campaign and lead. Campaign and lead. These two are the standard object. Of course, you know that. Now they are interrelated in many to many relationship. Between campaign and lead, there is many to many relationship. अब ये किसने बनाया? क्या हमने बनाया? नहीं. This is something which is being given to us. हम जानते हैं कि कोई भी चीज जो हमको Salesforce देता है, हम उसको नाम देते हैं standard. हम उसको नाम देते हैं standard. तो this is what many to many standard relationship. This is what many to many standard STNDARD standard relationship implement between few of the standard objects. So there are few of the standard objects those who are into the many to many relationship. So between campaign and lead, there is many to many relationship. तो अगर many to many relationship है तो junction object भी होगा. जैसे मैंने book और author को relate किया, I related book and author, तो junction object भी होगा, है ना? What was the name of the junction object? The junction author name is book author object. तो अगर ये है, and if I'm saying that these two objects are interrelated in many to many, there must be a junction object. There must be a junction object for that, right? तो यहाँ पर अगर मैं आपसे कह रहा हूँ कि between campaign and lead there is a many to many relationship, default many to many standard relationship. What is the name of junction object? Campaign member is the name of junction object. Campaign member is the name of junction object. ठीक है? There is an object called as campaign member. There is an object called as campaign member, and that is a junction object. I'll show you probably. See, campaign. This is the object, campaign. This object, campaign member, is a junction object. Inside the Salesforce, there is an object called as campaign member. A standard object is there. Why standard? Because being provided to us from the Salesforce, we haven't created. This object, campaign member, is a standard object. And basically, it's a junction. It's a common child between campaign and lead. There is a relationship between lead and contact. Again, this campaign member is there. So this junction object, campaign member, is actually a common child between campaign and lead and contact. So between lead and contact also there is a many to many relationship. Again, this campaign member is being used as a junction object. So lead, campaign and lead, then lead and contact and opportunity. Between contact and opportunity also there is many to many. Between opportunity to product also there is many to many. Between product and price book also there is many to many. See, if you probably have identified how I have arranged this table so that it becomes you too easy. It's become easy for you to remember this campaign and then leads. You ended on the lead, now start with the lead and contact. You ended on the contact, now start with the contact. Contact and opportunity. You ended on the opportunity, now start with. This is how we actually used to understand the concepts in our studies. में हम लोग normally ऐसे ही पढ़ते थे engineering में जब हम पढ़ते थे. So this is a way, this is a way how I actually arrange this in a way that you could probably find it a little bit easy to remember this. Only the thing required you to remember the name of the junction object. उसमें भी आप देखो campaign member is the common between campaign lead and contact. This is the junction object. But for the contact and opportunity, the name of the junction object is opportunity contact role. Between opportunity and the product, there is a many to many relationship. Who is the junction object? Opportunity line item is the junction object. Then between your product and the price book, again there is a many to many relationship. Who is the junction object? Price book entry item. This is the name of the object. Price book entry item. You could find this. You could find this. Go to this. You could probably find this. Price book entry item. See, this is the object. It's a junction object. It's a junction object. Price book entry object. It's a junction object. Junction object for what? Between product and the price book. Between product and the price book, like this. So these are few of the standard many to many relationship that has been implemented between few of the objects. So you should know about it. Go and remember this. The next is hierarchical relationship. So it's a small concept. Let me introduce that because But tomorrow I'll, no, not tomorrow. Today is Friday, yeah. So on the Monday, I could start with over here. Monday, from Monday, I will start it from, let's go with the hierarchical relationship. I'll probably, I don't know better. Let me see whether I have posted this diagram on your drive or not. Yeah. Let's understand with this concept because अभी diagram बनाने का समय नहीं है. If I start making the diagram, it will take me lots of time. Okay. Now see, we have an object probably. Let's understand that we have an object called as employee. Okay, we have an object called as employee. That means employee is an object. Employees is of course a table. Objects are on the user interface, and the same thing is what a table. Same thing is what it's a table. It's a table on your database, right? It's a table on the database. So therefore, we can say we have an object employee. Now see, there are so many employees like we have Praveen, and then we have Asit, and then Project and Shaka, and then Asit. Okay. Now probably employee table hai ye. This is one of the object. Now Praveen is the CEO and Asit is the delivery manager. Project is the project manager. Shaka is the lead, and Kasim is the senior Salesforce developer. Now everybody have its ID. Okay, everyone have its ID. Like Praveen has this ID A101, then A102, 103, 104, and then 105 like this. Right. Now see. So in every organization, there is a default hierarchy that, if the, the person who is actually sitting on this position, like senior Salesforce developer, this particular person, he will report to his immediate manager. And the manager is Vishaka. The manager is Vishaka. That means Kasim actually reports to Vishaka, right? Vishaka is the manager. What is the ID of Vishaka is 104. So there is a column, see manager ID. There's one more field called as manager ID, which actually indicates who's the manager for this person. Who's the manager of Qasim? Who's the manager of Vishaka? Who's the manager of Raja? Who's the manager of Asim? Like this. This person reports to whom? This person reports to whom? This person reports to whom? And finally, Asit reports to whom? So this is the default hierarchy. This is the default hierarchy. And I just wanted to indicate the same hierarchy with this table. So Mr. Qasim actually reports to Vishaka because Vishaka is the lead and she is the manager of Qasim. So the ID of Vishaka is 104. The ID of Vishaka is A104. So inside the manager ID column for the record of Qasim, it will like A104. A104 indicates that this person Qasim will report to A104. Vishaka reports to Prajakta. For the Prajakta, the ID is 103. So Vishaka actually, Vishaka reports to A103. Vishaka reports to A103. Then Qasim reports to A104. Okay. Then Prajakta, who's the project manager, reports to delivery manager. Prajakta reports to whom? Prajakta reports to A102. Asit reports to A101 and Asit reports to CEO. Okay. CEO. So this is what this table, a pretty simple concept is over here. यहाँ पे कोई भारी concept नहीं है. It's a default hierarchy that this person reports to them, this person reports to this person reports to this like this. This person reports to this, and finally this person reports to this like this. It's a very small concept, like if you see. Now here, if at all I wanted to create an hierarchy like this, then Qasim is related to Vishaka. Qasim is associated to Vishaka. There's a relationship between Qasim and Vishaka. Vishaka is related to Project. There's a relationship between Vishaka and Project. Because inside the Vishaka, I could see the number of Project. Inside the Qasim, I could see the employee ID of Vishaka. There's a relationship between Prajakta and Asit Kumar. Like, because in the entry of Prajakta, I could see the number of Asit Kumar. Then Asit is related to what? Asit is related. There's a relationship between Asit and Praveen Shivde. Because I could see the number of Praveen Shivde and the employee ID of Praveen Shivde over the manager ID of Asit Kumar. So how we could create this kind of relationship? See, if I consider Qasim as to be the child and I consider Vishaka as to be the parent. Okay. Now these two records, previously hota aisa tha ki this one object was child, the second object was the parent. These were two distinct objects. These were two distinct objects was there. Parent belongs to some other object, child belongs to some other object like this. There were two distinct objects. Previously, we have seen this as a concept. There were two distinct objects. One of them is parent, another one is child. Parent record belongs to another object. Child records belongs to another object. Like book object, like author object, like, like position object, like candidate object, like hiring manager object, like your position object. There were two different objects. Exactly. Now here, what is the concept? If this is the child record and this is the parent record, both of them belongs to same table. If this is your child, Vishaka is the child and Prajakta is the parent, both of them belongs to same table. If Prajakta is the like child and Asit Kumar is the parent, both of them belongs to same table. If Asit is the child, Praveen is the parent, both of them belongs to same table. That means if the child and the parent, both of them belongs to the same table, this kind of relationship is called as hierarchical relationship. This kind of relationship is called as hierarchical relationship. Hierarchical relationship, one more name is there, self-joint. One more name is there, self-joint. So this kind of relationship where, child and the parent, both of them, whenever an object is to be related with itself. Whenever an object is related to with itself, that means when the child as well as parent record belongs to same object. When they belongs to the same object. Okay. The relationship type is called to be hierarchical relationship. Hierarchical relationship. So whenever you say this concept, when the object is related to itself, when any object is related to itself, this object is related to itself. There are no two distinct objects, rather there is only single object. And the entries of these are related to each other. This kind of relationship is called as hierarchy. When the child as well as the parent record belongs to the same object, it's called as hierarchy. Okay. Now, by using this feature, we can map the association of the object with itself. Object को खुद से relate कर सकते हैं. This kind of relationship is also called as self-joint or intra-relationship. Intra मतलब होता है आप आपस में से एक होता है इंटर कॉलेज मैच, जिसमें एक कॉलेज दूसरे कॉलेज के साथ में मैच खेलता है. एक होता है इंट्रा कॉलेज मैच, एक ही कॉलेज है लेकिन अलग अलग ब्रांचेस है. कंप्यूटर वालों का मैचेस है, मैकेनिकल वालों के साथ, इलेक्ट्रिकल वालों का मैच है, इलेक्ट्रॉनिक्स वालों के साथ. इस तरह का मैच कहलाता है इंट्रा मैच, जहाँ पर एक ही कॉलेज है, सब कोई कहाँ से बिलोंग करता है, एक उसको इंट्रा एंट्री बोलते हैं. तो यहाँ पे ये इंट्रा रिलेशनशिप है कि विद इन द ऑब्जेक्ट्स एक ही ऑब्जेक्ट है, उसी के रिकॉर्ड से आपस में रिलेटेड है एक दूसरे से. दिस काइंड ऑफ रिलेशनशिप इज आल्सो कॉल्ड एज इंट्रा रिलेशनशिप. ठीक है. नाउ सी इफ वी वांटेड टू क्रिएट दिस रिलेशनशिप, अब आप मुझसे पूछो कि सर ये रिलेशनशिप अगर हम क्रिएट करना चाहते हैं तो हम कहाँ क्रिएट कर सकते हैं. वी कुड ओनली क्रिएट दिस रिलेशनशिप ऑन द यूजर ऑब्जेक्ट. हायरार्किकल रिलेशनशिप इज एप्लीकेबल ऑन द यूजर ऑब्जेक्ट. that is if at all we wanted to create the relationship, if at all we wanted to create the hierarchical relationship, it could be created only on user object. अगर आप क्रिएट कर रहे हो, if at all you wanted to create this, तो आप सिर्फ यूजर ऑब्जेक्ट पे क्रिएट कर सकते हो. कैसे? I'll show you that. Let's go with some of the standard object. If I go to the account object, and if inside the account object, if I try to create the hierarchy relationship, let me see whether I get this option or not. So if I go to the relationship section, I could see on the account object, I could only create lookup and external loop. Even I cannot create master detail. Let's go with the case object. If I go to the case and if I wanted to create a relationship field, what are the options that are available with the lookup and external relationship? That means inside the case object also I couldn't create it. Now let's go with some of the your custom object that we created. So inside the hiring manager, if I wanted to create the relationship, I have option for the lookup master and external, but I don't see any option to create this hierarchy relationship, right? If I go to any other object, for example, if I go to book author object also, and probably I try to create a relationship field over here, what kind of options that are available to me is the lookup master detail nahi, because it's already a child. Master detail वैसे भी खत्म हो चुका है यहाँ पे, external lookup. So I cannot create this relationship anywhere, hierarchy relationship. I cannot create it with the standard and the custom object. But let's see what happens if I go to user object. So your user is a standard object. How to see a standard object? Go to setup, go to build and expand the customize. Here you will find the user. Let me first of all let me search it out. There's the user object. Tab home activities. Channel tasks user. See, here's the user object. Just expand this, and then go to the fields. Just click on the fields. Go to the user and click on the fields. So it will show you that these are the standard fields. All the standard fields inside this object. User is the standard object. It will eventually what the user object store. Let me show you that also. Concept निकला है तो बताता हूँ. You see, inside our organization there are few default users. Standard. एक तो आप है. ये सारे users हैं आप. These all are the users inside your object, right? ये आप Sfdc training. So with this name, actually we created this account. Apart from us, there's a chatter user, there's an integration user, there's a security user. These are some of the standard users that are sitting inside your organizations. So all the users related thing, all the things related to the users, all the informations, full name, alias name, username, and some of the additional part, the entire things related, the entire data of the user belongs to the user object. So these all record. There's a standard object to store this. The informations of the users are stored inside the Salesforce. All the informations related to the users are stored inside one of the standard object for this user object. The user object have these all standard fields. Now, if there's a section custom field sections also. Now here, if I wanted to create a new custom field, let's go with this new option. Now see what kind of relationship we could create it over here. So we have, inside this user object. Now you could see that we have an option to create the hierarchical relationship. See, we have an option to create the hierarchical relationship, but that to be inside the user object. Or user object means के अलावा there's no other option. There's no option to create lookup external master detail. There's only one option, hierarchical relationship. So अभी एक बात ध्यान से सुनो first of all, है ना? इस पे काफी सारा confusion रहता है लोगों कि आप मतलब probably you haven't heard it clearly. मैं clear cut बताता हूँ. अगर आप सुनने में दिक्कत ध्यान नहीं दोगे तो आप confusion से. पहली चीज, अगर आपसे कोई ये पूछे कि आप हायरार्किकल रिलेशनशिप क्रिएट करना है मुझे, तो आपसे बोले I wanted to create a hierarchical relationship on the account. Answer is no, we cannot. If someone says you, can I create hierarchical relationship on the contact object? Again, the answer is no. Now, if someone says you, can I create a hierarchical relationship with any of the custom object? जैसे कि position है, candidate है, hiring manager, cook है, phone, कोई भी. Again, the answer is no. Why? Why every time your answer is no? अब आप बोलो कि see, if at all you wanted to create a relationship, if I wanted to create a relationship, hierarchical, there's only one object. There's only one object where we can create hierarchy relationship, and that object is the user object. So only onto the user object you could create this relationship, otherwise not. Otherwise not. Only on the user object you could create a hierarchical relationship, otherwise not. Again, there's only one object where we can create the hierarchical relationship, and that is your user object. That is your user object. सिर्फ user object के अंदर ही आप hierarchical relationship create कर सकते हो और किसी भी object में. अच्छा, user object में सिर्फ यही relationship create. फिर अगर मैं आपसे पूछूं क्या आप यूजर ऑब्जेक्ट पे लुकअप रिलेशनशिप क्रिएट कर सकते हो, क्या आप यूजर ऑब्जेक्ट को किसी और ऑब्जेक्ट के साथ लुकअप रिलेशनशिप में एसोसिएट कर सकते हो? अगेन द आंसर इज नो। क्या आप यूजर ऑब्जेक्ट को किसी और ऑब्जेक्ट के साथ मास्टर डिटेल पे रिलेट कर सकते हो? अगेन द आंसर इज यूजर ऑब्जेक्ट एक ऐसा ऑब्जेक्ट है जिसमें सिर्फ एक ही रिलेशनशिप क्रिएट हो सकती है और वो है हायरार्किकल रिलेशनशिप। ठीक है, ये सब क्लियर कट आंसर। अब दूसरा दूसरा कंफ्यूजन जो यहाँ पे रहता है नॉर्मली सभी, कि ऐसा कोई ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं है यूजर के अलावा जहां पे हायरार्की रिलेशनशिप, ऐसा कोई ऑब्जेक्ट नहीं है यूजर के अलावा जहां पे हायरार्की रिलेशनशिप है। गलत हो, आप गलत हो, फिर से गलत। कैसे? मैंने आपसे ये कहा है कि अगर आपको क्रिएट करना है, अगर इफ यू वांटेड टू क्रिएट, अगर आप क्रिएट कर रहे हो तो आप सिर्फ एक ही ऑब्जेक्ट पे क्रिएट कर सकते हो, वो ऑब्जेक्ट है यूजर ऑब्जेक्ट। लेकिन उसका मतलब ये नहीं होता कि सिवाय यूजर के कहीं और हायरार्की रिलेशनशिप नहीं है। आई शो यू समथिंग, लेट मी शो यू समथिंग। There's an object called as account object. Account is by the way a standard object. Account is by the way a standard object. ठीक है, account is by the way a standard object. Now you see there is a relationship between account to account. दिख रहा है आपको यहाँ पे कुछ account to account? If I put my cursor over here, what does it see? It's hierarchy from account. This object account is related to itself in this hierarchical relationship, and there are few more standard objects that have this hierarchy relationship. This one is an assignment for everyone. Now this one is an assignment for everyone, that apart from the account, which are the objects those who are related to itself. Try to Google this and find it, and those who will find the answer, please post it into the group. ठीक है, तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है, ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि सिर्फ यूजर ऑब्जेक्ट ही हम अगर क्रिएट करना चाहते हैं, if we wanted to create a new hierarchical relationship, we could maximum create it inside the user object. That's it. But yet there are few more standard objects that already are being having this hierarchy relationship. One of them is account. See on your screen. Account is one of the object that is related to itself. There is a self joint. There is an intra relationship. There is a hierarchical relationship between account to account. Right? तो ऐसा कुछ नहीं है कि यूजर ही इकलौता ऑब्जेक्ट है, और कि हमेशा I'll tell you 99% में मेरे को हमेशा इंटरव्यू गलत ही आंसर मिला है इसका। कि मैंने पूछा कि अपार्ट फ्रॉम द यूजर इज देयर एनी ऑब्जेक्ट व्हिच कुड बी रिलेटेड इन हायरार्की, द आंसर इज नो सर, देयर इज नो सच ऑब्जेक्ट, ओनली यूजर ऑब्जेक्ट इज देयर। तो ऐसा नहीं, यूजर ऑब्जेक्ट पे आप क्रिएट कर सकते हैं, आप अकाउंट पे क्रिएट नहीं कर सकते, आप कॉन्टैक्ट पे क्रिएट नहीं कर सकते। आप नई रिलेशनशिप की बात कर रहे हो तो यूजर पे क्रिएट कर सकते हो, लेकिन हायरार्किकल रिलेशनशिप है, कुछ ऑब्जेक्ट हैं जो आपस में रिलेटेड है, मतलब खुद के साथ इन द हायरार्की, अकाउंट उनमें से एक है। और ऐसी कौन कौन सी ऑब्जेक्ट है, यू नीड टू फाइंड इट आउट। दिस वन इज एन असाइनमेंट, दिस वन इज एन असाइनमेंट फॉर, ठीक है। So this was all about hierarchy relationship. In the next lecture, that is on the Monday. So, on Monday, what is the date? On the 8th. Okay, fine. I'll start with this conversion. I'll start with the conversion of this lookup and the master, and then from the master to the lookup. And then this one more topic is there, standard relationship role of summary. Okay, things are left with us, and one-to-one also. See, one more thing. Once I completed with this part, relationship, once I completed with this much of the part, relationship, every one of you will face sort of viva, I could say, or the mock, I could say, up to the relationship part. Up to the relationship part, you will be evaluated. You will be evaluated periodically after completion of few important things. Now, after completion of this relationship, every one of you is going to have an evaluation. Okay? Every one of you will be evaluated till relationship. So probably next week तो मेरे को आधा वीक जाएगा इसको समझाने के लिए, 2 से 3 दिन जाएगा, ठीक है। After that your evaluation will be started. तो इवनिंग में रहता है आफ्टर 9 PM वगैरह. We will set up a call for 2 to 3 people and then we will evaluate. तो पढ़ाई शुरू कर देना चाहिए आप. From the beginning up to the relationship, every one of you will be evaluated. ठीक है, every one of you are going to be evaluated. तो ऐसा periodical assessment चलेगा आप सभी का. You could call it a viva. I don't find any better word for this, but you could call it a viva. तो एक 2 3 4 5 क्वेश्चंस का इवैल्यूएशन रहेगा एंड वी कुड सी, हाँ उसमें आपका मैं और भी देख लूंगा कि आपने क्या क्रिएट किया, कैसे क्रिएट किया, हाउ योर प्रोग्रेस इज गोइंग एट ऑल। ठीक है, तो पीरियोडिकली यू आर गोइंग टू बी हैव सम ऑफ द असेसमेंट्स, क्योंकि आपको इस एडमिन की ट्रेनिंग पे कम से कम 2 से 3 बार तो भी, और उसके बाद डेवलपमेंट, एंड आफ्टर एडमिन वी विल स्टार्ट अप द मॉक्स आल्सो। तो वो मॉक एक डिफरेंट स्टोरी है, बट अभी एटलीस्ट यू, एवरी वन ऑफ यू विल बी गोइंग टू फेस द इवैल्यूएशन। ठीक है, तो ये मुझे रिलेशनशिप खत्म हो जाएगा नेक्स्ट वीक में, 2 से 3 दिन का टास्क है, प्रोबेबली कमिंग वेडनेसडे और प्रोबेबली थर्सडे, ज्यादा नहीं। उसके बाद फिर इमीडिएटली ऑन द नेक्स्ट कमिंग फ्राइडे वगैरह से आपका इवैल्यूएशन स्टार्ट करेंगे। सो बी प्रिपेयर्ड विद ऑल दिस। ठीक है, चलो, लेट मी स्टॉप दिस रिकॉर्डिंग फर्स्ट।